All right, what's going on, guys? Coach Joe here at the Lions Den, and what I'm gonna do with this video is just answer some questions that were submitted via Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are. And in the background of this Q&A, we're just gonna do some training highlights and footage from the last couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. We're gonna dive right on into it. Harry Reynolds asks, what is your favorite video game right now? So as of right now, what I've been playing the most has been Battlefield 1, and I'm gonna pick up the new Battlefield this week. Carter 47, thoughts on sumo deadlifts? I personally do not do lots of sumo deadlifts because it's not in strongman, so I do a lot of conventional pulls. However, if you want to play sumo deadlifts or that's in your competition wheelhouse, that is awesome. I'm not biased. I think they're great, as well as conventional deadlifts. So it all depends on what you're doing and what you're competing in. Lucas Mason 15, what are some of the obstacles you had to push through in starting your own gym? So I will suggest that you go watch my How to Start a Gym series 1, 2, and 3 videos, which I'll link up right here. And in those videos, I talk about a lot of the obstacles that I didn't see coming, such as issues with the township and even structural problems such as the floor having issues when lifting heavy weights. But it's too long to talk about, but I did run into a lot of obstacles. This is my third location, so you're gonna wanna listen to those videos and learn from my mistakes. Dream Out Loud says, why have you never competed in powerlifting? Honestly, I don't really know, but my plan is to compete in a powerlifting meet between now and 2019 Strongman Nationals and just see if we can put some points on the board in the powerlifting world. The Kernigan says, your advice for building a strong overhead press. So my go-to protocol with anyone who asks a question along those lines is, one, increase the frequency of the lift, okay? So get some more volume in with that lift. Maybe it's gonna be a second day of training, as well as adding in supplemental lifts to complement the main lift. And that could be doing pin presses, push presses, or just working on your weakness in that movement. But what's really helped me along my journey with these lifts is increasing the frequency, getting better at the supplemental lifts, and having played with the variables of intensity, volume, and frequency. So Performance Fitness asks, top practical programming tips learned from working with barbell medicine. So for me, one of the biggest things that stood out from getting programmed by Alan Thrall, who works with barbell medicine, has been focusing on the main movements more. So I used to spend a lot of time and energy focusing on things that didn't probably really matter as much in building the main lifts. Where with working with them, I did a lot more deadlifting, benching, overhead pressing, and squatting. So my frequency was a lot harder in the main lifts, and my work was a lot more in those lifts. So I was doing more sets, more reps, which ultimately helped me get stronger in those lifts and just build my overall base of strength. Where before, maybe I would do less sets of the main lifts and focused a little bit too much on conditioning or accessory movements, when for me what helped was focusing more on the main movement, and that increased my total. Soren Kaz Fitness says, what's your favorite Pokemon? So for whatever reason when I was a kid, my favorite Pokemon was Scyther. He was not good, however I thought he looked really badass, and that is why I liked him for that reason yet alone. Advice for making a complete career change and getting into coaching and general barbell training and powerlifting was by N Sonic. So what I would say for you is that you want to specialize in something, find your niche market, and get really good or become an expert in that niche market. And then from there, what you want to do is get people results and show them your value. Maybe it's you take a couple clients for free and you change their lives through whatever you're good at, and they're gonna go and tell their friends. And it's as simple as that. And you wanna get people to know, like, and trust you, and just keep building upon that. And you're gonna have a great way to influence or increase your influence, your impact, and your income if you can master just that simple basic concept, and you'll figure the rest out on the way, as well as leveraging social media. Social media is completely free, so make sure you have an Instagram, a Facebook, you have a newsletter or email list, and kind of just get out there right now. Get your feet wet and get after it. Tor Henricks 1 asks, have you ever used PEDs? And that means puppies every day. Yeah, I love puppies. No, PEDs. So I don't really talk much about PEDs because I have a lot of people, friends and family, young ones that watch this channel, and I try to keep it a family-friendly channel. And I don't know how YouTube handles when you do talk about that kind of stuff. My videos won't get put up or they won't be monetized. However, what I will say is when it comes to PEDs, this is years ago in a galaxy far away. I had a friend who offered them to me, and at that time I was immature and stupid and didn't know any better, and I thought the quick fix was everything, and this was in terms of a pill form. So I ended up buying them and taking them for a week, and I thought in a week all these magical things were gonna happen, because like I said, I was an idiot, I didn't know any better, and I wanted a quick fix. Now, what ended up happening is when I took that, that pill, I ended up actually getting sick. And for some reason, my conscious thought, because I took that pill, that's why I got sick, and it was just a sign that it was not for me or what I should do, okay? And that's kind of where my journey has gone with that. Now, I will say, depending on the route you want to take in strength sports and where you want to go, there probably is going to be a time where that's going to pop up, right, or come across you in some way, shape, or form, and you're going to have to make a decision if that's what you want to do or not, and you're going to have to be an adult, right, when you make that decision. And for me, the level that I want to compete at or foresee in my future, that is going to be a decision that I am probably going to have to make at some point. And that's where I will leave it. But I will say, if you are getting involved with that, do your research, okay? Don't do it, first of all. But then if you do it, you should be doing your research, knowing, well aware of what could happen to you or what will happen to you, and is the risk versus the reward, okay? So that's kind of my answer to that question. Bib asks, what do you think about a vegan diet? I think if that's your choice, then that's fine with me. I don't think it's the best choice to make in terms of strength gains or building strength or getting stronger. However, it's a moral choice that people have to make. I'm not going to judge you because of that. I love cows and chicken and fish and animals, but don't judge me. I won't judge you, and we can go on living our lives and we can still train next to each other. That's going to be okay. We're going to survive and we're going to make it. Brian Jimenezmo says, would you always recommend a beginner to bulk or gain weight and then lean down, or vice versa? So it all depends on the person, okay? It's kind of a loaded question. However, my main concern with people is always going to be health. If I have someone who just wants to put on a ton of mass for the sake of maybe increasing their performance by a little bit, to me, that is not something that I would want to do, and I want to keep them as healthy as possible. Now, if we can progressively, slowly increase their weight over a long span of time while they still remain healthy and just do a small caloric surplus, I'm okay with that, but I don't want to do anything drastic ever, and health is always my main concern. And if someone is overweight, we want to get their weight down before we even really consider the strength gains or possibilities, because I want to get them in a healthy range that they are getting rid of things that could kill them, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, diabetes, and just bad health issues. We want to minimize that as much as possible. Hopefully that answers your question. Conrad All Day says, how do you maintain such great hair? Well, I'm going to shoot over to my man, Billy Madison, for this one.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair.
Yes, shampoo and conditioner. Mario says, do you have Hungarian relatives because your surname is a Hungarian surname? Yes, I do. My great-great-grandparents were immigrants and came over here, and their last name was Szatmary. I think they changed it slightly when they came over to the States, just because that's what people did coming off the boats. But yes, my grandfather's side is all Hungarian. All right, so Caleb Hessler asks, what did your numbers look like in the beginning years of lifting? So in the very, very, very early stages, I didn't really know any of my numbers because I just had started. But I think when I was in high school, okay, so I'm like 17-ish, I had squatted 500 pounds. My military press was not good. I want to say anywhere from 135 to 185 or 200 pounds max for a one rep. That's a pretty awful range, but somewhere in there. My bench press, I think, was 275 for a single, because I think when I was at college at Auburn, I hit a 300-pound bench that was really sketchy, because at that point, people still kind of spotted you with fingers, so it doesn't really count, but I like to say I was in the 275 to 300 range. My deadlift was unknown at the time. It was probably a 0, and but I did know my cleans. I was around a 300-pound clean and jerk when I was around 18. So that's kind of where my numbers were kind of based around or started. Norms don't apply. When and how did the lion become your spirit animal and inspiration? So my favorite movie as a kid was always The Lion King, and I used to play the Lion King soundtrack and jump from chair to chair like the hyenas did when they were all singing to Scar. Weird side story. But I've always loved lions, been fascinated with lions. My mom's dad, my grandfather, their family shield had lions on it, so I always embodied that lion mentality of just, standing out, being something different, be strong, be courageous, and do the right thing. when you know you should. And that's kind of just what I try to do and be a leader of the people and help out people become their own lions in their stories and in their world. Andrew 44 says, favorite shoulder assistance work. I'm a big fan of the push press, and I like doing pin presses at chin level for my shoulders. Nick Neisted says, how did you get sensacious piles of meat spit roasted with a humerus bone like your arms? That's a loaded question, but if you lift heavy objects a lot, your arms are gonna grow. Mike Buchanan says, my elbows cave in during heavy bench. Any thoughts on how to correct this? Thanks. Okay, so with the bench, you're gonna wanna mimic really good technique with lighter weight and slowly, progressively increase the weight, keeping that technique. But something that may help you with your elbows is using a slingshot, which is by Mark Bell. So I would encourage you to purchase one of those. It's gonna help keep your elbows nice and tight while benching, but that's something that I've used that's helped me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed some of those questions and the topics that we covered. If you're into that, comment some other questions down below for our future Q&A and give me some feedback. But I really appreciate you guys checking out this channel. Had a great time going over some stuff. You guys getting to know me a little bit more, and we'll tune in next time. Got a lot of cool, awesome videos. But until then, make sure you guys stay lean, mean, strength machine, subscribe to the channel, and keep kicking ass, taking names, and getting after it. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything you do and supporting me. Peace.